Hey guys, we are live. I'm just trying to check to make sure that you can hear me and all is well. Check, make sure you can hear me and all is well. Welcome to our Monday night training. Come on in. I'm just looking down and checking our training to make sure everything is good, that you can hear me. Give me a one in the chat just also to make sure that you can hear me as well. I don't know why that unleash her thing is still up. I need to change that, but it's all good. Give me a one in the chat just to make sure that you can hear me and we are good to go. Because I am on my iPad. Let me just check. Tanya, thank you for the one. Thank you for the one. I appreciate it. Thank you for the one. Okay, good. Thank you for the one. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it, and gentlemen. Thank you. All right. I was trying to hook up. I'm going to be using my iPad to demonstrate something today. So I was trying to hook my technology up before I come on. So that was a little delayed on my part trying to hook it, but I guarantee you'll be worth it. All right. As you come in, tell us who you are. Tell us what you do in the industry. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. If this is your first time catch me live, it's your girl, Sherri Summer Bell, where I help women in finance and in insurance service-based business. I help them to make their first 250K by building their credibility, community, and cash flow using my Joyful Tribe framework without sacrificing their family time. So I'm excited for our training. Again, if this is your first time catching me live, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, go in here and give you a free training to help you unleash the inner CEO in you. All right. So today we're going to be talking about permission to break your limited belief. Permission to break your limited belief. And the reason why we wanted to have this conversation, and listen, come on in, tell us who you are, tell us what you do, so we can get to know you, because I want to make sure that I'm doing the training in alignment with who you truly are. And let me explain to you, every time someone give you an opportunity to let the world know who you are and what you do, you better take it. Every time you see that opportunity to get exposure to your business, you take it, and you take it unapologetically. So when somebody say, hey, can you put in the comments what you do? Or someone say, get to the stage and do what you say, tell them what you do. Use that moment, seize that moment, because you never know who's looking for what you have to offer. You never know who's looking for the sales. If you're tuning in from YouTube, please make sure that you can go to joinsherri.com and get access to our free Facebook group where female insurance agents and financial professional goes to unleash their inner CEO. All right, let's get started, y'all. It's been a week from our Unleash Your Inner CEO conference. I am still on fire. Anybody that's still on fire from that conference? Because I am still on fire. I hope you are still using the principles that we talk about at the conference when it comes to Unleash Your Inner CEO, having permission to step into your power. And today is no different, right? Today is no different. Hey, Veronica, how are you doing? Veronica says, I am a life insurance professional, because I want to highlight people when they comment. Serving in New Jersey, is that Delaware, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Welcome to our space, Veronica. Welcome to our space. Glad to have you. So we are literally a week and a few days away, past Unleash Your Inner CEO. And during that conversation, during that time, it surprised it actually didn't surprise me that we are still believing that we're in a space where we're still having to permission to break your limited belief system. And in order for you to unlock new opportunities, you have to break limited belief systems so you can get to the next level. It baffles me also where women who are super successful are in the space of finance, insurance, service-based business, but they are not in awareness. They're not in awareness that the reason why they have not unlocked the next level, the next high level, is because they are not aware that it's not a strategy issue, it's a mindset issue, right? And it's super surprising to me that we, even as successful as we are, sometimes we haven't figured that out yet. When I talk about awareness, there are times when people say, you're always so happy and joyful and all this stuff and positive. And I'm saying to people, like, no, I'm not happy and joyful. I'm just in the spirit of awareness, right? Put awareness in the chat, put a spirit of awareness. I'm in this spirit of awareness, which I work daily to get my clients, who are, some of them are here today. Hey, Dolores. Hey, Tanya. Who I work daily to get my clients to be in that same spirit of awareness. What do I mean like that? Well, I am aware, right, who I am and whose I am, right? Put that in chat. Who I am and whose I am. That's super important, Pam. Who I am and whose I am. And when you're in awareness, you know joy is an inner work, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not our we attract revenue because revenue give us option, right? I just literally got off the phone with my travel agent. Just shout out to Jessica. She was one of the sponsor at the event, and she was like, "Hey, I'm booking you and your husband anniversary, because that's what she does. She's an expert in travel, so she takes care of me." And she's like, "Hey, do you want the ocean view or do you want the ocean front?" And I'm like, I want ocean front, baby. I want to be able to see everything, and I want to be able to see every single thing. So I want ocean front in the resort that my husband and I are going to. Money allowed me to do that, right? Money allowed me to have the options to do that. So money is important, right? But we also know that money doesn't bring us joy, right? Internal happiness brings us joy. Internal awareness of who I am and whose I am. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Pam, for that. Who I am and whose I am. So that means, in the spirit of awareness, when I wake up in the morning and I say, "Oh, God, you got me up." There's so many people that closed their eyes last night that did not make it to the next day. So who I am or whose I am, I know, okay, so if you woke me up, God, that means you want me to do something in your name. So I am aware that I didn't have to wake up. So I am aware that, I can breathe. Oh, I have mouth, I can speak, my limbs are working. Okay, God, I'm good. I'm aware of that. So the awareness of that brings gratitude, and it also brings joy, right? It brings gratitude and it also brings joy. So when you have joy, right? When you have joy, what you add to that, when you add a revenue to that, that revenue give you options to be able to say, "Hey, I want to fly first class, or I just want a general ticket. I want an oceanfront resort, or I want a ocean view resort." So the money part give us the ability to have option to increase our joy. You follow me? Yes, Jessica's in the house. Shout out to Jessica. She's my travel agent. How you doing? She's my A1. I told her to say that, y'all. Okay, love you. So going forward, what we're trying, y'all getting this? Y'all getting this up? Because I'm about to go deeper. I'm about to bust out the pans and everything for you to understand what I'm saying. Who I am, whose I am. If you're just joining me, we're talking about permission to break your limited belief. That's what we're talking about. Permission to break, giving yourself permission to break your limited belief. Bonnie said that's deep. Shout out to Bonnie. She is just our new member too. She said yes to herself at our Unleash Your Inner CEO. She's our new member of Joyful Tribe Builder Academy. I'm excited. Welcome, Bonnie. And show her some love, y'all, in the chat. I'm excited to have Bonnie a part of our Joyful Tribe Builder Academy. That is our academy for insurance agents and financial professionals to learn how to build their credibility, community, and cash flow using my framework. Okay, so who I am, whose I am, that's the first thing I have to realize. So when people say I'm joyful because I'm aware that I have inner joy. I have inner joy because I know who I am, whose I am. Okay. Now that I have inner joy and I know whose I am, now I say to myself, okay, what baffled people, especially successful women, when they come to me, on the phone or even at the event, or I'll have a conversation in the DM, wherever we may connect, because I'm a very high touch coach, right? Some coach, you pay them a whole bunch of money. You can't talk to them. You just talk to their assistant. No, I'm not that type of coach. Okay. So with that being said, when I'm talking to them, I will have, this is a conversation we'll have. They will say they're frustrated. They're saying that they have challenges and they have concern about the future of their business, the future of their life. They're not feeling fulfilled. Not only are they not feeling fulfilled, they're not making the revenue that they need to make. They're not impacting the life that they want to impact. So when I say, why are you not there yet? And they'll tell me, I don't have the framework, or I don't have the strategy to get there. And then I was said, well, what does your mindset look like? And they would say to me, oh, I don't need mindset work. I'm good. The mindset part, I already got it. And I'm saying that, I know that because I used to be the one that say that, because until I invest in myself and learn at a higher level what that looks like. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't need mindset work? Because truth of the matter is, the level of where you're trying to unpack from a income potential requires a different level of thinking. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to break that down to you right now. I'm going to share my screen with you, and I break this down to you right now. So permission to break through your limited belief. That's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about permission to break through your limited belief. I'm going to help you break through that belief system right now. I hope you're grabbing your Diva notebook and your diamond pen, because you already know when I come on, we dropping bombs around here. So, and now I got my little imagery. Let me see if I can share my screen with you. And then when I share my screen, give me a 1 in the chat when you can see my screen. Give me a 1 in the chat when you can see my screen. Let me see if I can turn it around. Hold on. Let's get to it. Okay. So we are talking about permission to break your limited belief. I don't want to write this way. I want to write that way. Okay. Thank you, Apple. Thank you. Love my Apple folks. Okay. She said, I receiving bomb. You receive bomb. Yes. 111. You can see my. Hey, Kathy. How you doing, gorgeous? Hey, Jarrell, how you doing, gorgeous? How are you? Come on in here. Okay. Permission to break your limited belief. So we were told, and it's not our fault, right? It is not our fault, especially me. We were told when we were younger, we were told that we need to work harder. We need to put in more effort. So the key word here, we need to work harder. That's what we were told. We were told we need to work harder, right? To make more money, to make ends meet. So because that's what we were told. We need to go harder. We need to make work. So we started putting what I call effort, right? We started putting in more effort, as in getting a second job, as in working overtime, because we got to work harder. But if you are at VIP day with us, you learn that to increase your revenue, it doesn't take more effort. It doesn't take working harder. It takes you being more efficient, right? Efficient. I know it's not the best writing because of how I'm on this iPad, but it takes you being more efficient. So that's what we were told. We were told work harder, and if that's the case, we were at a hotel, and I said the lady in the room that cleans the hotel room that we were at, they work the hardest and they make less. So we know working harder and putting in more effort from our physical working harder standpoint does not do the job. Are you following me? Yes. If you're following me inside the comments. Yes. All right. So if we're going to have permission to break the limited belief, we have to get to a point where we realize it's not really working harder. We need to be more efficient with our time, right? Efficient with our time. Follow me. Stay with me right here. Stay with me. So knowing that we need to be more efficient with our time, what does that look like? If we are trying to break through some desires, we're trying to do some big things in our lives, we're trying to retire our parents or retire our spouse, or we're trying to give back to our nonprofit organization, or if we're trying to buy that Louis purse, or if we're trying to fly to Dubai, what is your desire? Put in the chat right now. Write the vision, make it was it Habakkuk 2:2 inside of the Bible? Write the vision, make it plain. Put it inside of the chat right now what that big desire that you have for your life. If we're trying to get those desire, we know that it's going to take for us to figure out what I call a framework, right? A framework. We need a framework that is going to teach us how to get opportunities, get money, get asset to have that desire. The computer's a little delayed, but it will work with it. So you need opportunity. So we need a framework, right, that teaches us how to work more efficiently so we can have the desire of our heart. That's what we need, right? We need financial freedom, travel without restraint or struggle, all of that, right? Yes, I love that. I love that. Yes, Dolores says travel, $1 million earning. Okay, now understand that money. And remember, we said inner joy, right? We talk about inner joy. That's what we're seeking, inner joy, the emotions of inner joy. That's what we're seeking. And the money give us an option, doesn't make us have inner joy, because somebody is okay with making 250,000 a year, and that's great. And then there's somebody who say, I want $1 million. Pam says she want $1 million earner. She want to be $1 million earner. Nothing wrong with that at all, right? It's because at the end of the day, happiness is an inner thing, right? She just want the money because the money give her options. The money give her options, right? So, all right, so stay with me. So we want the framework that will give us the ability to earn those desires that y'all just listed, right? The $1 million, the retirement, the financial freedom, right? The vision, make it plain. So all of those desires are. So what is the framework? What is the thing? Here's the thing about the framework. Here's the thing about the framework. I can give you the framework right now to use that framework to get the desire. When a gentleman said to me, I don't know if I don't see him here tonight. I haven't seen him here yet. And we talk about it. He says, Sherri, so what you're telling me, you have fast track session. I have fast track sessions that I do. Like our group is for females, but when guys want to work with me, we may do a fast track session. He says, your fast track session costs this, and the information you give me is up to me to apply that information to make the revenue I need to make. I said, boom, yes, exactly. You got it. You got the idea. Yes, right? The problem is, if that is the case, how come Sally can get the same information Monica get, and Sally makes the money and Monica don't, right? Monica don't. And let me explain to you why that is. Let me break that down to you why that is. Because the purpose of me wanting to explain that, let me go with this. Let me go with this color. Let me change my color. Okay. The reason for that is Pam said belief system. Yes, it is. So I'm going to break down the levels of how we attain wealth in our life, in our business. So the first step we're going to focus on is in step one. And if you were at the conference, this is a refresher. When you first start out, you're in what we call a build stage. And if you're in this stage, go ahead and let me know. You're in a build stage. And the build stage is the stage where you're making between 0K to, let's say, 50K. It used to be 40K, but with the recession, we're going to say 50K. And in this build stage right now, you may be like a solopreneur. You are the graphic designer, you are the social media manager, you are the one doing the content creator, you're the one delivering the product, you're the one writing the policy, you're the one onboarding new agents, you're the one calling people. That build stage, you're everything. You are the graphic designer. You have no help right now, right? You're between that. You have no help right now. That's where you are, the build stage. And let's be clear, we all started at the build stage, right? Unless you came from money, we all started at the build stage. So we are proud of the build stage. Shout out to the build stage people, right? So you're at the build stage from 0K to 150, 0K to 50K, right? That, and this is a refresher. That's why y'all need to come to these conferences, because y'all, half of y'all know what I'm talking about already. Okay, so now we're at the build stage. Now we're gonna go move into what we call the, let me see how much space I have. Okay, what we call stage number 2, which is our growth stage, right? Our growth. Shout out to my MC, Catherine Latoya Grant Austin. I see you, Queen. Our growth stage, right? Our growth stage. This is where you're making between 50K to 250K. And if you're following me, you know that's what I teach my clients to do. Make 250K. Okay. So this is the growth stage, right? So you're making to 200. That growth stage used to be 100,000, but now we realize we need more than 100,000. This right here used to be 100,000, but now we realize we need more than 100,000. Okay. So okay, I got some people in the growth stage. I got some people in the build stage. Okay. Build stage. You got some people in the growth stage. Okay. Now let me be super clear. I'm just using the revenue to identify the components of, oh, what did I do? Revenue to identify the components of our belief system when we're talking about permission to break your limited belief. And of course, the last stage is what we call the scale stage, right? Scale stage. That is where you're hitting your 250K to $1 million. All right, 250K to $1 million. And based on how the recession, based on how things are, these numbers change. But right now, we're comfortable in being able to say that, talk about these stage. All right, so you're still with me? Yes, you're still with me, right? So just to recap, we talk about the fact that permission to break our limited beliefs. We are coming from a belief system, because we have to shatter some belief system that was with us that says, hey, we need to work harder physically to make more money. We need to put in more effort. We need to stay on the clock a little bit longer. We need to ask for every overtime that's possible for us to get. We need to add another job, a second job to our business. All of that, that's where we're coming from. But Sherri, in this space, is teaching you increasing your earning power is all about more efficiency and the power of communication, communicating your value more than it is working hard. And I'm going to break that down for you and let you understand. And the reason I'm doing that, because I am tired of seeing successful women who want to break through the level. Like they may even be at 50K and they're ready to go to that 200. Oh, what happened here? They may be at 50K and they're ready to go to 250K, but they're worried about going to 250K and they don't know how to break through from it, because there's a type of people who they may pass 250K, but if you ask them how they got it, they don't know how they got it. If you ask them how they were able to do this, they don't know how they were able to. There's no framework, what we just said. They don't have a framework or a blueprint of how they create it, right? So even though you could be at 250K and I say, okay, can you rinse and repeat that process of how you got it? 90% of the time, they tell me they don't know. They don't know, right? So that's why even I have women who are inside of my tribe who already surpassed 250K, because they're working on their own framework to make sure they know how they got it. So in growing your business to build growth and scale, and remember I said in the chat, tell us where you are in the chat when it comes to growth. So the growth stage now is where you may have one or two clients, and in that stage you may have one, and that's clients. You may have one or two people helping you, which could be your social media manager, an agent. You may have a couple of a graphic designer, but you have two support team, right? You have a 1099 person, a contractual person helping you. That is in the growth stage. And then in the scale stage, you may have someone that is you're paying their insurance. They're actually a W-2 employee. They're on your W-2. You can file for them. You know, doing all that good stuff that you do when you're have an employee, right? So scale, growth, or build. Go ahead and put that in chat right now where you are. All right. Now that we're clear on that, I'm only speaking for me. I can't speak for anybody else. Y'all, are y'all learning something so far, right? So we're trying to figure out the framework to go from build to growth, from growth to scale. That's what we're trying to do, right? There's a framework, right? And how do we know that there's a framework? We know that there's a framework because success leave clues. Success leave clues. So there's a framework that helped us go from build build to grow, from grow to scale. So we know a framework. We need to know what that framework is. Now, here's why we can't just hand this framework to you and say this is the answer. Here's why we can't just hand that framework to you and say this is the answer. This is also why people say, "Hey, Sherri, what is the price for this? What is the price for joining your trial?" I hate when Siri do that. Stop, Siri. This is Y'all gotta wait on Siri for a second. Okay.
Siri here. Let me know if I can help.
Okay. All right. Now she's done. She had her moment. So I can't call my name anymore because they always say that name. Okay. So now we need to know. People ask me, what is a framework? This is why you see people who are business coaches, or people who are in the financial space, and they don't put their price on a website, because based on the mindset of the person who's looking at the price on the website, they will count themselves out without knowing all the facts and all the details, because we are already in the mindset, in the belief system. It's based on the belief system that we have in our mind. Okay. All right. So, and along with that is also why we don't just say, here's the framework. You can purchase the framework, right? We have a framework in Joyful Tribe that teach you how to make your first 250K, but also teach you how to shift your belief system so you can track the revenue you desire. Okay, boom. The thing about just having a framework, because I'm speaking to the successful women who always say to me, "Hey, I don't need a mindset. I'm good with mindset, and I just need a framework," right? I've had 4 people say that to me this past weekend. I just need a framework. And I'm explaining to you, if you're still frustrated and concerned and not meeting your goal, not being able to impact lives, not being able to do the revenue, not being able to get the desire that you just talked about you want, if you're still in that space, it's not the framework. It's you're not in alignment with the framework. So I'm just trying to help you get in alignment with the framework so you can have opportunities, monies, and asset, and whatever that thing you say you desire. All right. Okay. Now, stay with me. Stay with me. So I'm speaking for myself, right? We all started from the build stage. We all started from the build stage. We all started from the build stage, because unless you come from money, I didn't come from money. I'm an immigrant from Jamaica, 430 credit score, all that stuff. So I didn't come from money. So I had to bootstrap my way to life, right? Some people if you're new to me, you'll hear my story later on. So in 2018, when I say goodbye to my 9 to 5, and in 2016, 2017, I was dabbling, if that's the word you want to use. So in 2018, I was what I still call the build stage. So 2016, 2017, I was at the build stage for a long time, right? I was there, and I did not know how to figure out. And let's be clear, I hate to say this, y'all. I hate to say this about myself, because it took me a long time to get where I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to help somebody. Your goal is to go back and pull and get somebody. And it took me forever to move to the growth stage, to move from the build stage, even though 2016, 2017, I'm still trying to get out. I left my job, still trying to figure it out, can't figure it out. But I hate to say this, y'all, I had the framework. I had a framework the whole time. I had the framework of how to move into the growth stage. And it took me until 2020 to get into the growth stage, right? Follow me. I stayed in this stage over and over and over, because I make up every excuses, everything under the sun. I try to. In the build stage, your talent can only get you so far, right? And anyways, I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. I'm trying to get. So then I got to the growth stage. But let me tell you something. The hardest money to make is your first 100K. If your hardest money to make is your first $100,000, because there's so many limited belief systems that you have to break and unlearn to relearn. That's why it's so hard to move from 50K to 100K, because there's so much limited belief system that you have to unpack and unlearn and relearn again and create new principles that you struggle. So from 2018 and then going into 2020 for me to get into the growth stage. So and mind you, I'm going into growth stage during the pandemic, right? I'm in the growth stage during the pandemic. And how many people understand what I just say? The hardest part is making your first 100K, because you're going against your brain. You're going against everything you were taught. You were taught to work harder. You were taught to put in more effort. So when someone come and say, no, baby girl, you just need be more efficient. You just need discipline. And I'm like, I just need strategy. How many people can relate to what I thank you, Pam? Thank you. Say, I understand. I understand your first 100K. And it's not that I didn't have the framework. I'm embarrassed to say, but I love y'all and I love transparency. I had a framework all the way this time and I was not using it. I was not using it. And I would use it, then I would stop, then I want consistent, I would stop and go. And I had the framework to move from my 50K to 250K, and I just a 0 to 50K, from 50K to 250K, and I just would not do it. So then when I got frustrated and said, okay, I got the framework. Why is it working for, this is why it's important to be inside of Facebook, inside of groups. Why is it working for my mastermind sisters, or why is it working for my sisters in group coaching? What is wrong with me? What am I doing? And on top of that, now there's a difference if you have clients who are in there for like 3 months, 6 months. That's different because you're just still learning the process. But me, I was 2016, 2017, I'm still stuck, right? Well, I'm working my law enforcement job and I'm still stuck because I can't get out of this rat race. I'm just stuck, right? I'm spinning my wheels. I'm stuck. I'm doing everything I need to do, and it just won't push the angle. I'm making money, like just someone like you guys. I'm making money, Roxanne say, I understand, but I just could not move the angle. So then when I decided, say, no, there's got to be more I have to unpack here. I got to be more I have to unpack here. So I was stuck. 2016 stuck. 2017 stuck. 2018 stuck. Why am I still in the build stage? And when I say build stage, y'all, I'm talking about this is for a year. This is a year. Oh, crap. This is a year. So I'm looking at this as a year. So when I say 0 to 50K per year, these are all per year. So I'm stuck and I'm like, what am I doing that made me stuck? So I invested, I flew to Dallas and I went and flew and got my master life coaching certificate, right? And they put me through all sorts of stuff, mental regimen, right? Because I got the framework. I got it. So it's not the strategy. So what is wrong with me? Why can I 2016, 2017, 2018 cannot move? And then bam, here come COVID, right? So I flew to Dallas and I got with a master coach and I said, I don't know what is wrong. This is why that's why I'm a master life coach for master financial life coach, because I've been there. So when I flew and I learned from her and I got my master life coaching certificate, and I started learning about my untraining my belief system of what I believe, right? And I started doing that. What happened now after 2020, going into after going to 2020, now 2023, I moved to that stage, right? I'm in 2023 and now I'm in a scale stage, right? So what happened in 2018 to 2020, and what happened in 2020 to 2023? All right. So what, y'all following me? Yes, you're following me. So I was stuck like Chuck. I was so stuck like Chuck. And when you're stuck, what do? You search out for help. So I searched out for help because I was stuck at that 50K per year. Now, 50K wasn't any good for me because I was making 42K at my law enforcement job. So it was great that I was making more money than what I was making on my 9 to 5 when I left my 9 to 5. But I needed to unpack y'all write this down. I needed to unpack a higher level of thinking. The level of thinking that got me in my build stage is not going to be the level of thinking that got me in my growth stage. When you have to operate with 100K, you can't use it. So I said to myself, okay, if this is a stage that I want to operate in, right? If this is, and I'm here, if I want to go up to here, if I want to go up to this stage, I have to think how these people at this level think. Yes, yes, if you're following me. I have to get in a space of hot because when I'm explaining to you guys who are super successful, but seem like you can't push the angle, what I'm trying to get you to understand, there's a levels of belief that you have to unpack at higher level. Do you imagine what Beyonce belief system has to be at the level of where she is? Can you imagine where all the things that she has to unlearn and untrain her mind to retrain her mind? So when so here I am now, y'all follow me? Yes, I love it. Are y'all learning something today? Give me a high five. You're learning something today. So I had to stop thinking, no matter what, if I said that I was serious about breaking into new desire, new opportunities, new rooms, new doors, I had to start thinking. If I'm in build stage, I had to start thinking in growth stage. I had to start thinking in a way a person who's moving from that 50K to 250K, what they do, what they think. I became obsessed with their level of conversation in that space. So I joined a mastermind. The mastermind was 20,000. It was 20K. I joined a mastermind for 12 months. And in that mastermind, these ladies are speaking a different language. I'm just talking about building growth right now, right? They're speaking a different language. There are these masterminds. Some of the ladies were they were in they were in there were daycare center owners. They were hookah lounge owners. They own a restaurant. That's the best way to put it. There were a tax professional. They were already at $350,000 conversation. They were already at that higher level. They were paying for their investment in full. And I'm like, what? So here I am trying to wrap my mind around people do that. Like they were doing things that and I've never experienced before, right? So I remember we were flying to resorts and having butlers and chefs and we were like, I'm like, what is going on around here? Oh my goodness. So I unlock a new experience in this space. So I said, well, again, when you're searching, I invested 20K and I unlock a new experience because I wanted to see if I'm trying to make that amount of money. Not only I'm trying to make it, but I want the framework so I can rinse and repeat the process, right? So I stayed in conversations and communications with people who are making that money, with girlfriends who are making that money. And then the support system was there. And then we started talking with each other and figuring out more about each other and all sorts of stuff and all that. And I'm like, their conversation was kind of, y'all understand what I mean? Give me a high five if you understand where I'm coming from with this, right? So here I am thinking I'm doing well with my 50K, right? I'm making more than I was making at the sheriff office. I'm thinking I'm doing well. And then I go up to the growth stage and I'm like, so now I'm like, my belief system had to advance. Like I got to see it for myself. Like I remember flying to one of the girlfriends' place, and she shows her daycare, and she shows her business credit business, and and and, and I mean, I'm like, wow, and she black, right? I'm like, these are black women making this money, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, I'm going somewhere, and they're like, oh, we don't fly Spirit, and I'm like, you don't fly Spirit, like, so like, where they doing that at? Sign me up. So I got to experience the okay. So now I'm in a different mindset. So now I'm in a bolder. Now I have the courage because I see it in the space that I'm in. I see it take place and I'm in the space that I'm in. So I decided to try the framework again in 2020. Y'all following me? Y'all, this is so good. Y'all gonna get this later. Like, this is so good. So I said, let me go back to the same framework that I got in 2018 that I did not do. So what did I do? I didn't change strategies. The framework remained the exact same. Matter of fact, we in Joyful Tribe using the same framework today. So I didn't change strategy, but I upped my belief system. I was around people who made me think differently. I was around people who challenged my growth and challenged my thinking. I was around people who was not afraid to invest in themselves because they know who they are and whose they are. Oh my goodness. Right? So it wasn't just like, oh, they're just making, they could predict how much money they were going to make the next year. They could predict, they had things in place and all this stuff. So they challenged me to be a CEO. They challenged me to know my data, know my numbers, know how many calls are coming in, and how to organize my automation and organize my back office and systems and all this stuff. And some of the stuff that y'all be getting from me, right? That's what 2020, that's when y'all changed. So I invested in that program. Y'all, this is so good. This is so good. Y'all may have to just play it again another time. Okay. It's because I think y'all missing all of the juice. Okay. I'm getting more happier than y'all are getting. So that would never happen had I not allowed myself to have the breakthrough at investing that 20K. Because a transformation require transaction. So mind you, I said, if these women paying 20K in full, I need to be wherever they are. Like, where are you? Like, what do you do that you can pay for a coaching program for 20K, right? So being around that, there's a magnetic attraction that happened that those doesn't stop with you. When we were at a conference, when I was on stage and I was speaking, I was talking to ladies about looking in the mirror and all sorts of stuff. Y'all should have been there so y'all would know what I'm talking about. My ambassadors are like, listen, Sherri, I know you weren't really talking to us, but when you send that word to us, it spread over us too. We were really impacted and transformed from the word, even though we were here to assist and we were here to help. That word was so impactful. Once you send forth your word into the atmosphere, it cannot come back unfold. The Bible said that. I ain't say that. You look it up for yourself, right? So it's the same way when you are in a space of growth, around the community of growth, it magnetizes you. Even in our group, we end up 12 months later, we end up having to get up our group to add a mastermind in conjunction with our Joyful Tribe, because that's how advanced in 12 months these ladies and their belief system shifted. The framework is still the same. One more time, the framework is still the same. Y'all follow me? Yes, you're following me, right? Okay. Whew, this is so good. This is so good. So I had a framework in 2016, right? I had a framework in 2016, didn't do nothing with it. Had a framework in 2017, didn't do anything with it. Had a framework in 2018, didn't do anything with it. I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I flew to invested. I was supposed to fly to Thailand to speak, and COVID canceled that. But we end up having to go to Dallas first. And and I got my master life coaching certificate. And that's when I realized, and that's why I'm using. So I'm talking about mindset. I ain't just talking about mindset, just talking about mindset. I got the credential. I have a business management master degree. So I know I have the credentials behind my name, what I'm talking about. Okay. And plus I know who I am and whose I am. Okay. Veronica said, yes, yes. Veronica, is this good? So now I say, all right, all right. Now that I'm more in alignment and now I know that I'm in the right space, I'm in alignment, I am worthy of more, right? Because I'm in spaces of women who are in their growth stage, right? I'm in that stage. So now I'm like, okay, how do I get to the scale stage, right? How do I get to that scale stage? Well, the good news is the hardest thing to get to is as a business owner is your first 100K, right? Your first 100K. So, but once you break through the 100K and you know the framework, you can rinse and repeat to get here and then to get here, right? So what I did now, I said, all right, if I pay the investment, put myself in spaces of women who are making this, I can put myself in places with women who are making this. So my next investment was, I'm just trying to tell y'all, and no, and I'm just trying to tell y'all how this works. So now I'm in this stage where I invested $54,000, right, for this space. So I invested $54,000. So in this space, let me explain something to you what happened. In the growth stage, I started getting what I teach in Joyful Tribe, which is exposure. So I started getting exposure. I started going different places. People started knowing my name, da 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 da. So my brand equity was already built in, right? Because growth stage gave me the confidence, baby. And it gave me the foundation to say, hey, if they did it, I can do it. I see the way that they move. I see where they rely on whose I am, not on you, because with your strength is you're weak. But understanding and walking in a belief system that whose I am, and then using the framework and in alignment with the framework to get to the next stage. So when I came here, I went got do some exposure stuff, and then I said, okay, so I want to be at the 250K to my $1 million. I'm not playing, right? So I'm like, I'm not playing. So let me tell y'all what happened, right? I'm out here and I'm like, I'm talking to people and they're like making 60K. They were making 30K a day. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a different belief system. I don't know if I'm ready for that belief system. Mind you, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this belief system, the growth belief system. Oh my gosh. And how do I unpack that? Y'all, this is so good. This is so good. So Lisa said, preach. Lisa is also in our Joyful Tribe Builder Academy. Shout out to her. So because the belief system that got me I was past the bill stage now. Like I'm just, because I already see what I can do when I unpack and break my limited belief, because I was around people who feel that way, right? I was around people. So then I got to this stage, right, which is where I'm currently am the scale stage. I'm like, okay. And then I would hear people, big names, Myron Golden, Cody, and Jess Parr, and so amazing April Franks, and amazing people who are already at this scale stage. I'm like, oh God, now I gotta. So I'm not worried about framework. The framework never changed. The strategy of the framework never changed, but the belief system at another level changed. So when someone say to me, hey, I don't need framework, I don't need mindset. Yes, you do. Because the level of the mindset you are is telling you don't need mindset. Because the next level is going to require a different type of conversation. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Let me break it down a little bit more for y'all, because this is all messy. Let me break it down a little bit for y'all. There's a mindset that says, I just want to be able to get on a plane and pay for my ticket to the airport. I don't care if I'm in C group, B group, A group. I just want to get on the plane. That's the bill stage, right? I don't care. I'll wait in line. I do the waiting. I don't care. And then there is a growth group that says, hey, I want to be first class, or I want to be an A-lister. I want to be on that plane because when I get on that plane, I can be more relaxed. I don't have to worry about my seat issue. I have more space in. When I arrive, I'm not feeling frustrated. I'm not, I'm not next to three people to be my conversation. I'm only next to another person. So that is where you call the growth stage. Those are the people who are like, I want to be in first class. I want to be my own thing. Then you got the scale people that says, I don't want to be in first class. I don't want it. I don't want a ticket. I want to be able to charter my own plane. I want to be able to get my own plane. I want to fly private to get my own plane. That's the scale people, right? That is the scale people, right? So are y'all getting it? I hope y'all are getting this because this is just so good. So the scale people are like, so the belief system of coming from, I just want a ticket to get on the plane. I don't care what group I'm in when I'm boarding the plane, to I want to be in first class. I want to be at the Delta, what do they call a little Delta? Y'all, Delta Lounge or whatever. Those are the growth people, right? Understand what I'm saying? They have the pre-check, they have the clear, all that stuff. But then there's even another higher level where, and I experienced that when I went on Ultimate Agent Tour with Cody, where we flew around on a private jet. I'm like, oh my gosh. So here's a conversation on private jet, right? This is a scale stage. This is a scale. Y'all, this is so good. So this is a scale stage. So the scale stage, I'm sitting next to a gentleman and they're kind of disappointed. And I'm like, why are y'all disappointed? And he's like, we didn't meet quota. And I'm like, you didn't meet quota? I said, well, we didn't meet our financial quota for the month. I said, well, how much financial quota are you trying to meet? He says, we only made $1 million that month. He said we only made $1 million that month. We usually make 4 million. We usually make 4 million, but we only made $1 million that month. Do you know the mindset and belief system? Atanya said, Lord, I'm on a private jet with this guy and he's sitting next to me and he's telling me that he only made 1 million I only made 1 million this month, because in his mind he's like, Sherri on the plane with me, so she already make $1 million, and so we can talk like this. And I'm like, no baby, I never made 1 million in 1 month, in 1 month, never. So he's like, so we're talking, so I'm like, oh my God, like hold up, people do that? And it was just me and another lady of color that was no, 3 of us of color was on the jet. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got now I'm like, Lord, now you got me in another higher level of belief system. Now I put myself in that position, but I don't have a choice but to go higher with the way I think and the way I believe and the chances that I take and believing in myself, because I'm sitting next to someone that made $1 million in 1 month. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I teaching you this? It's not the strategy you're going to have to focus on. You're going to have to focus on unpacking and breaking through higher level of belief system that say you're worthy, that say you should be there, that say that you're valuable. I'm telling you, so when you decide to do, and let me tell you, there's no way around doing that than to invest in yourself. No way. Because guess what? When I experience that, what do you think I do for my clients in Joyful Tribe and Unleash Her? I open those same doors and have them walk through those doors, right? Because I've walked through it. So I'm sitting here like, okay, what aspect of my life do I need to change? That do I need to transform so I can think in this way, right? And if y'all went to the conference, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Right? She said, listen, I will take it and not complain. Exactly. Listen, Veronica, I'm with you. Right? So I'm sitting on the plane, right? So we went, some of you guys met me on tour, and I went to Chicago, Dallas, and I had just came back from Jamaica, right? So I just came back from, I got married and went on tour. So I'm sitting on here I'm like, okay, I want to ask him because proximity, you have to pay for proximity. Hello, you have to pay for proximity. Pay for proximity. Proximity means if you want to meet certain people who are at that mindset and belief system, you pay for your proximity. So we're in there and I'm listening. I'm like, okay, should I ask him how the hell did he make $1 million in 1 month? Right? I'm like, now let me just get to know him a little bit better. But my point here is this, y'all. My point of what I was trying to tell you in this sloppiness of what I just did. Every level require a different belief system. So when someone tell you, "Oh, I don't need belief system," they don't realize the level of awareness that they're talking about, because you're when you don't need mindset, because your mindset is levels. It's not a mindset and I'm good. It's the levels of the way you are aware, right? If you're at a conference, we talk about it's not about framework, it's not about strategy, it's not about blueprint, is what aspect of my life do I need to transform to grow my business? So if I said I want, what does a person who makes 250,000 to $1 million, what is their schedule? How are they working out? Are they waking? What time do they wake up? Those are all adaptable things. And what are they working on a daily basis, right? If a person is in a growth stage, right? I know it's a little messy, but you got my point. If a person's in a growth stage, it's the same way. It That's why you can't skip one and say, "Oh, okay, I want to make." That's why you have to be trust the process and be patient with the process, because people who hit the lottery, the reason why they have not mastered the mindset necessary to keep the money, so they have to come all the way back down. But I'm trying to help y'all today, right? I'm trying to help y'all today. What have you learned from this training? This training teaches you that you're in your mind, there were just one mindset in your mind. That's how when you came on this training, you're thinking, it's just one mindset. Catherine throwing shoes at me already. But what you just realized, that there's levels to this thing. There's levels to this, and we know that because Beyonce and Oprah already shows there's levels. They can retire anytime. They can retire anytime, right? So just me give you an example of there's a person who just want to get on a plane, and you got to ask yourself, what level do you want to be? Because if you say you want to be at the growth stage, if you say you want to be at the mindset stage, if you, I'm sorry, the scale stage, or if you want to be at the build stage, that's fine. It doesn't matter what, that's fine. The only reason I wanted this scale stage is because money gives me option to give it back to more people, right? When I have more money, I can get more staff. I can pay my staff well. I have a school in Jamaica I take care of. I can impact more lives. I have a girlfriend that passed away, and I love her kids and want to give back to her kids. That's the purpose of wanting to go to a scale level, because when money is in my hands, it's in a lot of people's hands. Like just this conference, we literally impact so many lives of people we hired and paid and all that stuff, right? So we help the economy move. That's why we want to be at a higher level each time. That's the purpose of me. You got to find out what your purpose of wanting that to do, and then says, okay, this is why even in our group, we focus more on the principle of whose I am more than we focus on the framework, because the framework will make you say, okay, let's look at the framework really fast. Okay, let's say someone give you the framework, and this is my last, to make $1 million. And it says, step one, you need to do this, right? Step one, you like in our framework is getting clear on step one framework is getting clear on the problem you solve, getting clear on your strength and your strength that you have and the challenges somebody else's have. So we take your strength and your gifts and we say, what are you good at that somebody else it has a challenge with that you can help and they're willing to pay for it, right? Not just in finance, but just overall. Like I'm good at helping my clients build their credibility. That's what I'm super, super good at, right? And so I said, okay, what am I good at? and then use that strength that I'm naturally good at. Well, that's step one, getting clear on the problem I solve, how I solve the problem, and who I solve the problem for, right? All right. So let's say step two said, all right, I'm going to take what I just said and I'm going to add marketing to that in step two. You are fine in writing down, but now it's time for you to get more exposure in taking out to the atmosphere about the problem you solve. So now you got this step two where you're like, oh God, you mean I gotta speak on stage? You mean I gotta do podcasts? You mean I gotta go live? You mean I gotta explore myself? People gonna see me? You mean I'm gonna have to do that? So then it's not that the framework doesn't work. You stop right here. You stop right there. You stop in, right? It's not the framework doesn't work. You stop right there because you have to unpack step two before you can go on to step three. Because step two, you're stuck. You're stuck because now you need to unpack it using what aspect of my business, of my life do I need to transform so I can unpack step two. Are y'all getting this? Yeah, this is so deep. I'm trying to tell y'all. And this is free. And this is free, Dolores. And this is free, right? So what aspect? So here's the thing. So when you get the framework, if you're not in alignment, you will stop in step two and say the framework doesn't work. But Tom, Dick, Harry, Monica, Jackson, whoever did the same framework with you and got results. But you're over here in step two still trying to unpack it because you're afraid to build the courage to go out or you're afraid to step out. And our framework has 9 steps, okay? Our framework has, but in each step, you're being stretched and you're being challenged to put yourself out there because you are a leader, you are an influencer, you are an anointed, you are called to lead people based on your gifts and your talents. So when you get to step two or step three, each step you're fighting with your belief system and your values to say, can I do it? Can I not do it? Can I do it? Can I not do it? Right? So that's why it's so important because every step require a higher belief system. Oh, this is so good. I gotta stop here, but I think y'all got a point. Give me a high five if y'all learned something today. Like this was so good. Give me a high five if y'all learned something today. I just want a high five to make sure y'all learned something today. That's all I want because this is just too good. I should have charged for this one. So as I hang up, as I close. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. As I close, I want you to understand that what we are getting here, what we're understanding here is if you're going to move from she said every step requires a higher belief system. Jesus, yes. 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 And here's the thing. Every step requires a higher belief system. And the only way for you to know what that belief system is to be in a community of people who are already at that belief system so you can adapt the way they think. Only way for you to do that is to be in rooms that have that belief, that next level, so you can see the way they think, the way how they come up with ideas, and the way how they come up with communicate with people and the way how they showcase their value. The level of belief system, you do less physical work, but more communication. And somebody Joyful Tribe people know what I'm talking about. There's 4 different levels of value. Right? You got to be in Joyful Tribe to know the values. You got to do that's part of Joyful Tribe. So when you're at the communication level, you're talking more. You're in communication level. Some of y'all in insurance. You're talking. You're not building a physical product to give to people. The product's already there. You're just using your words of communication to get people to say yes to your product. Right? So having the confidence and clarity and the consistency to do that require you thinking in a different level. So stay with me because I'm about to end. Stay with me because I'm about to end. Stay with me because I'm about to end. Y'all, this is so, if y'all think free is good, just imagine what they get behind the scenes. Okay. Stay with me. I'm about to end. Stay with me. So what you're learning, Bonnie said, this is powerful. So what you are learning today is It's not that this the strategy, the frame, you need a framework. That's great, right? That's why we have two parts of our Joyful Tribe Builder Academy. We have a spiritual part where it's more principles and who I am, but I just said that. And then we also had a practical part. We have a 9-step, it's 9 steps, where we have 3 stages of that 9 that you follow to cash flow your business, to get the money. But what I, as a coach, focus on is the spiritual and principle, especially on a weekly basis, like you're going to church. Because if you're not in the mindset of that, if you're not feeling the emotion of that, and why am I telling you that? There are people who will say to me, hey, Sherri, just not a good time right now. There's never a good time. There's never going to be a good time. If you're frustrated, concerned, and challenged with what's going on in your life, and then it is a good time to get out of that frustration and challenge, right? The mere fact that you're saying that it's not is why it is. Like it's counterintuitive. Like it is why it is. Or you're okay with where you are. Right. And I know some people on the sound of my voice, you're not okay with where you are because you know you're the best kept secret. You know you're the trailblazer of your family. No, you know you're called to influence others. You know you got talents and gifts that people have not even seen before. You know you're called for global. I told somebody that this morning. Girl, the reason why you keep trying to do local stuff and local people ain't supporting you, need to go global. And you know that, and you're still trying to be hesitant about going global. And the only way you can do that, again, is to open a higher level of belief. And only way you're able to open a higher level of belief is being in the spaces of where other people who think like that. There's no other way. There's no other way. Because programs like coaching program and mastermind, they allow you to have a group of people where y'all can have the same conversation and y'all making the same level of money and thinking in the same manner, right? You're thinking in the same manner. But if you're so each level has a different group of people. So find, and there's no jumping. You can't go from build to scale because it'll show that you need to come back now, right? Or it'll show where you're not profitable enough to be paying the money, and all sorts of stuff happen, right? Whew, she said the best kept secret. Yes, the best kept secret. So, y'all, this is so good. This is so good, y'all. She said, you are the company you keep. You're walking heavy, Sherri. Yes, girl. Yes, I am. Yes. So my point here is this, I'm wrapping up here because we're closing out our conference, we're closing out Joyful Tribe, we're closing out. That's why you see people are commit. We have members, we have more people we're going to post. We have a couple of people that says yes to coming into Joyful Tribe. And matter of fact, we have 3 spots because 2 people weren't able to do it, so we have 3 spots left. And if you're in that space where you're unlocking, you're willing to give yourself permission to break through your limited belief, and you stayed here with me this whole time, and you're ready to unlock. All I need you to say is me in the chat. Me in the chat. That's what I need you to say. Me. All right. If you don't want to say me in the chat, go ahead and DM me now, right? Because here's why. Because if you don't get anything else I say, I want you to get this. I want you to get this. If you don't say anything else, get anything else I say this. You can't do it alone. Because you can't do it alone because, oh, Jesus. Y'all heard my client Josie that says, hey, I hit 100K in 1 month. Some of y'all would have probably been there had you started. We can't go back. We can't even go back. I can't even go back. You're not being stretched enough. You're afraid to take the next level. Going to require some stretching. And if you're going to do it by yourself, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it because number one, you are afraid, right? And you need the aura of people who have done it, have already done it, doing it. So when you're in the ecosystem, it's something called is magnetized to you. When you're in a group of ecosystem of people who are achieving wealth, or achieving success or achieving abundance. So, Sherri, how do I unlock a higher belief system so I can adapt a framework, so I can do the things necessary to and get the desire? The only way around it is to be in the spaces to adapt the thinking ability of people who are already doing it, who are ready to. When I did that, when I understand that, when I'm in a space where people are scaling and making $60,000 in one day, and it was my turn to make $75,000 in one day, I was like, oh, so this is what it feels like. But it didn't occur until I'm in the spaces of people who do it and it becomes natural. It cannot occur because you cannot ask something to somebody that you're not willing to do yourself. Because when I'm talking to people, I'm having a conversation about frustration, concern, and challenges, and my heart is saying to you, you're not going to get what you desire till you yourself walk through what it feels like. So if let's say, for instance, you want to be able to make more money, you want to be able to impact lives and so on and so forth, right? You want to be able to do that. You first have to walk through the energy of giving to know what your clients are going to go through. When I was getting my financial master life coaching certificate, when I flew to Dallas, they put a band-aid, they put a band around my eyes and they closed my eyes out. They closed my eyes. And I had to walk down the stairs by the voice of the person saying, take 2 steps, take 1 step. And I couldn't hold a ramp. I had to trust my coach along the way and lean not to my own understanding, right? I couldn't see the next stairs. I had to trust what she said. Take 2. And I'm going, because if I miss a step, I'm breaking my neck. But the process of what they did in my master life coaching certificate, they wanted me to feel what my clients feel like as they go through working with me. So it's the same thing with you. When we're going to a higher scale, when we're saying, hey, I want to move from 0 to 50K, I want to move from 50K to 250K, you have to know the feeling of what your clients feel based on your own feeling. So the reason why you haven't unpacked that belief system, if you're not willing to do that, you are missing out on the energy of what that feels like. So listen, so I can come up to somebody and say, hey, listen, my cost is $54,000. My cost is $30,000. I can say whatever I want because I know what that feels like to give somebody that type of money or pay that membership or pay that thing, right? Because I unpack in my growth stage that I know it's for me. I need to know what it feels like to come up with that or pay that every month and come up with that. I need to know because that is the only way you can become adaptive in feeling and handling that type of money as you go throughout your life. Y'all, I'm done talking. Whew, Jesus. I'm done talking. And the fear factor, and here's the thing that we do. When you're thinking fear means no, when fear means no, show me you truly mean it. Step into it. If it doesn't, there's a guy I'm working with right now, and I said to him, I said, no, I don't want that program. I want to be the higher program. What's that higher program? Because there's an energy I want to feel when I say yes to something, because I know putting me in that energy will tell me that I'm valuable to ask for the sale because I have done it myself. So some of y'all are asking for things at a higher belief system that you have not unpacked on yourself yet. You have not unpacked that belief system, and every time you get opportunity, you allow the fear and show up as excuses. So Sherri, oh my God, I want to feel what it's like to hit $1 million. I want to feel what it's like to hit $250,000 in a day. I want to feel what it's like. You can't if you have not even spent $5,000 with somebody. You can't. You can't, because the energy of what it feels like to ask somebody for that money is completely, that's a different belief that it takes to ask that. That's a different belief of what it takes to ask that. Completely different belief. So if you're not willing to go through the energy of what that feels like, no, you can't ask somebody else for that. Or no, you can't have that breakthrough of of pitching to speak on stage and get paid to speak on stage till you can attract more people to your agency and attract more people or get opportunities of a pot. You have not feel the energy of what you're asking for yet. Now, I'm not telling you to invest 20K and 54K. I'm just explaining to you, you have not put yourself in an energy where you have to rely only on your faith and your belief system and whose you are, and therefore your belief system has not been stretched enough, far enough for you to reap the abundance that you're asking for. Like you can't surprise me anymore when I'm sitting with somebody to make $1 million a month in 1 month, at 4 million in 1 month. There's no other money that can surprise me when I'm in the energy of people who does that. Do you see what I'm saying? And if I stay around that energy long enough, it has to happen to me. It has to. Because if you stay around a bad energy, it attracts. If you stay around good energy, it attracts. So naturally, my belief system will adapt and change to that level of thinking because I'm around that energy. I say all that to say, listen, we're closing Joyful Tribe tonight, and we have 3 spots left. But who, Jesus, the trade information. Yes, thank you so much for it, Veronica. I appreciate it. I think I already put that out. I got to jump off, but I just want to make sure that y'all got that. Like, I want to, like, the breakthrough happen in community. The breakthrough happened. Yes, my energy. Yeah, she said her energy is shifting. That was the point. That was the point. You walk away tonight, and I'm jumping off. My husband's like giving me the eye. But I walk away tonight because I want you to get this. If you say me, we'll reach out to you or inbox me. We'll make sure we have 3 spots for Joyful Tribe left, right? But you walk away tonight understanding that there is a transaction that has to happen for a breakthrough to happen, right? For a transformation to happen, right? We learned that. We also walk away knowing that the higher we go, it's a different belief system. So there's no such thing as I got a good mindset. No, you're asking me, you're frustrated because you want to make more income. You want to double your income. And I'm saying to you, your income has not been doubled because you have not break through your limited belief of that level, of that build level, of that grow level, right? You have to break through that level first. And the only way to break through that level is be willing to be coachable, be willing to learn, and be willing to invest. Because you're asking somebody to invest in you, right? So the aura of that belief system is already messed up. And oh my God, thank you, Pam. Pam said that was powerful. Yes, y'all have to play this again. That's what I discover at the scale stage. That's what I discover at making my first 60K in 1 day, or making $250,000 in 1 day, or making, that's what I discovered, right? That's what I discovered. Like, it's easy to ask someone for something that you already have, somebody has asked you for, right? And you have done, it becomes easy, right? Because there's a breakthrough that happens, not just asking, but the decisions of what you do in your life, like the decisions of wanting to say, I want this instead of this. I deserve this instead of this. You know, that decision is a whole new, you're saying, so like when people see people traveling first class, they'll say, and let me be clear, I love me some Southwest. I am a Southwest girl. 95% of places I travel, they're Southwest. I love Jamaica. Southwest is my thing. So either I'm on first class on Delta or I'm on Southwest. That's my thing. First class on Delta, or I'm an A-lister on Southwest. So no matter where you put it, I want that top thing. So with that being said, my point here is, for you to know what that feels like, you have to go in first class. For you to know what that feels like, you have to go on a private jet. If you know, the level of way of thinking, had I not been on that private jet, I would have never sat next to someone who was showing me that he makes $1 million a month. Had I not, had I not been in that space, in that scale space, I wouldn't experience that. So now I saw it for myself. So now I know it's possible. That's all I gotta say. All right, Bonnie said we would have done it already if we could have done it on our own. Exactly. Exactly. And even with that, you can't do it on your own because you won't get the energy that you need to get, the feeling that you need to feel. You won't get the energy or the feeling that you need to feel. Pam, the next event we're gonna have in October. We're thinking about having a VIP day, and we haven't advertised it yet in the video on it. We're doing a VIP day in Atlanta for 10 people, VIP day. And we have more. Jasmine's getting ready to go on vacation, so I'm all by myself with Larice and Angel. We're all by ourselves. So, but so that's Jasmine's my success coordinator. But Bonnie, I want to reach out to you because you guys are taking time. The reason why you can't do it on your own because you have a limited belief energy. Not you, but you understand what I mean. People. So if you are already at your belief, you're trying to go to growth. You can't go somewhere you never been. So there's no way you can do it because the energy in the build stage is different than the energy you carry in the growth stage. So if you say you want to do it on your own, it won't work on your own because the energy at the build and the energy at the growth are two different type of energy. So, and you don't know what that energy is until you tap into other people in that energy, other spaces. It don't have to be coaching programs or community. It could be conferences, it could be books and so on. But if you want a more organized framework of that energy where you're sitting at people and they're like, oh no, I did this, or I think I was with somebody and I think they said she's like, oh no, I'm doing 100,000 with Coach Stormy. And like, what? Like what? What you doing? What? So I'm like, oh my God, so it's yeah, that's what you got the point. Yes. Oh, she said, oh, okay, no. Okay. So let me explain that. She said there was 3 spots that I missed. I apologize. We have our group, Joyful Tribe Builder Academy, which Bonnie just joined. And we have the open cart from the conference. So tonight is our closing night of Joyful Tribe. I would drop the link. Actually, just say me, and I would send it to your messenger. And Joyful Tribe is our program that we teach you how to build your credibility, community, and cash flow within 12 months. And we have a framework that we show you how to do it. And we also have guiding principles that you use to do the framework in order to reach your goal. The goal of that is using the framework to make your first 250K. When we unpack your belief system necessary to do that. So I hope I answer your question there. And we had 3 spots left over. And that's why we're giving anyone an opportunity who's here tonight, who's not in Joyful Tribe, and you want to be part of these. And if you want to find out more about the program, we got Catherine on here. We got Tanya on here. We got Dolores on here. You can talk to any of these ladies about the program. They will tell you more about it. Y'all can contact them. I'm an open book. So that's what that program is more about. So we got some success clients that are in the program as we speak, and they can tell you more about it. Yes. And if that's something you're interested in, just DM me or Jasmine, either way. And we'll go from there. Or just put me in the chat and we'll contact you. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all tonight. Higher level thinking, higher belief system. Know what level you need to be up at, what level in your belief system you need to be so you can attract the revenue you desire. Super excited. Thank y'all for everyone who came to Unleash Your Inner CEO. We're closing Unleash Your Inner CEO to 2024, baby. So kudos to all the amazing panelists that sat there and told you all about their wins. And let me explain to you what makes my Joyful Tribe different from any other program. When these ladies were on stage, they told you all the challenges that they face getting to their 6 figures, right? We had 7-figure speakers, 6-figure panelists. They told you all the challenges that they face when they were trying to hit their six figures. One of them had a mom and a brother passed away during that time. We had people who are caregivers to their family, right? People had cancer, the family had all of these challenges, the adversities that they were facing, even and they still made what they made. They still hit their six figures, even with those adversities that was up on them. There's so many people that wants to be financially stable, but when challenges hit them, they don't know the guiding principles to go through in their mind so they can still be that CEO and still perform at a higher level, even when they're breaking down, even when life is throwing them lemons. That's what makes Joyful Tribe so different than any other program, because some people are talking about strategy and mindset and all stuff. But the question is, when you're going through, can you still do the framework? When you're going through, can you still serve your clients? When you're going through, do you know where to go in your mind to say, hey, though they slay me, yet will I trust him? How will you know what to do when you still have faith beyond the grain of a mustard seed to keep going no matter what, and to have a community of people cheering you on, praying for you as you go through? That's what makes Joyful Tribe different, right? That's why people are still at their $600,000 level and still in Joyful Tribe, because it's not just about the framework. It's not just about, it's knowing the belief system that you need to tap in to get the results that you desire, even when you don't feel like doing it, even when life is throwing you lemons, even when you're frustrated, even when you feel like you don't have any support, but you can still make your revenue goal that is necessary to make. So it baffles me when people are like, I can't do this, I can't do that. Because I'm looking at these amazing women that are in the program that are still able to come out on top. And they face the same adversity you face. They face the same adversity you face. So what makes them can say yes and still come out on top? I mean, even through death, even through so much stuff. And that's because guess what? No one is teaching you how to still be a CEO and be resilient, be vulnerable, and still fall apart all at the same time. But we are. We are. All right, y'all, just comment me for if you're interested in that. Like I said, we have 3 spots, and I thank y'all for joining us today. It's your girl, Sherri Somerville. Talk to you later.